Hi everybody, I'm Donna Brousseau, and today we're going to tackle one of the biggest problems when we're trying to eat healthy, and that's what do we do about dessert. Instead of skipping it, we're going to make over one of America's favorite desserts, and that's pumpkin pie. Now we're going to start off with the crust. Typically the crust has fat and flour in it, but I've made a crust out of some ground ginger snap cookies, so just put them in a food processor, or you can put them in a baggie and roll them with a rolling pin. I've used some walnuts. So for the fat, I'm using walnuts. Walnuts are really high in omega-3. Great way to add some crunch and to have some healthiness to your dish. Omega-3s help us reduce our lousy cholesterol, LDLs, and increase our health goal. I've also added a little bit of applesauce to keep it moist, some ginger. Ginger is really great for our immune system, and some warm spices, so some cinnamon and some nutmeg. So I'm just going to press this into our shell. I want to do it up about quarter of the way up, so just lightly press it. Smells absolutely delicious already. I love the smell of warm spice. It just reminds me of Christmas and the holidays. So let's just put this into the oven. We're going to pop it in the oven for about 5 minutes at 350, and that's it. Okay, I've cleaned up and the pie shell's cooking. Now we're going to make our filling in. It is simple. We're going to start off with some pumpkin. So I'm using a can of canned pumpkin, or you can roast your own. Pumpkin, great source of beta-carotene. It's amazing. 1/2 cup has about 200% of the amount of beta-carotene that's recommended for our diet. So we're going to use some non-fat evaporated milk. Just going to mix it all into a bowl, and that's it. 2 eggs. Keep it nice and fluffy and set. For our sweetener, we're using maple syrup. Now, maple syrup is a really great choice for a sweetener because it has less sugar than anything else, also higher in zinc and iron. For our spices, again, we're using some warm spices, cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves, said to speed up your metabolism. We're going to use a little bit of vanilla. If you want, you can use some rum, a little bit of salt to bring out the flavors, and then finally, again, some ginger. Okay? And we're just going to lightly mix this together. I just want to make sure it's nicely incorporated. Okay, there we go. Okay, just give it a quick whiz, and we're going to go get our pie shell. Okay, so here's our pie shell. I'm just going to set that aside. And all I have to do now is just pour our filling into it, okay? It already looks great. Okay, and that's it. So let's just put this back into the oven, and it should cook up in about 40 to 50 minutes. Okay, now our pie is still cooking, but I baked one off earlier today so we'd have a chance to see what it looked like when it's done. So, looks fantastic, but it's not finished because you can't have pumpkin pie without a dollop of whipped cream. So let's put a nice dollop on there for us. And I saved some of the crumbs from the crust just to give it a nice finished look. Okay, and there you have it, a fantastic, healthy, and delicious version of our holiday favorite that we can indulge in without the guilt. So remember, it's not always about what we can't do, it's about what we can. So for this recipe and other healthy versions of our classical American favorites, check out www.donnabrousseau.com.